Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Captain here, and welcome back to Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. The new DLC, the most recent one, has dropped a couple of weeks ago. We've finally gotten all the mods updated. All right, maybe not all the mods, but we've had a lot of mods updated. We've actually started, we beat the DLC already. Me and my lance of friends, we play every Wednesday over on Twitch. And we've already beat through the clan DLC, Shadow of Korinsky, which is there, that's in the little corner right there. We enjoyed it so much, we decided to start over from a very fresh campaign, all the way at the beginning. And we're running that exclusively on Twitch. This video is all about what mods we're running right now and kind of where the mod scene is at. And in the description, these people have been asking for it, that's gonna be where all the mods are that we're running right now. There is an update right around the corner. I don't think it'll break the mods. It's just fixing a bunch of bugs and adding a new feature to how the clans behave when you're in or around their space. It sounds like they're gonna have something similar to how mercenary companies work, where if you're operating in the same area or zone as a merc group, then they might show up and cause trouble in your mission. But this will be clans, right? I assume everybody's gonna go, oh crap, we were fighting each other in Interspear, but the clans have just shown up because we were on the border and they're invading this area, and maybe they'll pay us a bonus to take them out. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. That update should be coming out in the next couple of days, with a bunch of bug fixes. So you no longer have Interspear, mechs screaming at you, pilots screaming at you about batch-alls and stuff. There's been a bug where they act like they're clanners over voice comms. It's playing the wrong audio files. And hopefully it fixed the damn machine gun. I don't know if you guys have seen that. The machine gun has a broken emissive or something, and it's just blinding. It looks like a Star Wars blaster turned up to 1,000. Anywho, the mods that we're running, there are two on here that aren't officially released. One of them is very cool. I'm really happy that he's letting me test it out. Called the, let me say it right, because I keep saying it wrong. Actually, we'll just go into the mods list real fast, and you guys can see. Let me just find it here. I always say the wrong, Disembark mod. That's what it's called, the Disembark Mech mod. And it does what it says on the tin and a few other things. And I'm gonna show you guys what that does in just a second. There's a lot on here that you guys are gonna know from if you've ever done any modded gameplay. Coyotes Missions is in here to give you all that sweet mission variety. Also lets you have an extra group of mechs. You get to bring in a second lance if you want to, if you're willing to pay for it. Which is a feature not normally in the game, right? That's got a very battle tech. You can also find and loot ground vehicles, basically tanks, and have them follow you around, and it adds aerospace fighters, though you cannot drive the tanks with his mod. You can in Disembark, though, because that's cool. That's not out yet. That'll be coming soon. I'll do a full spotlight on that when it finally goes full release. It's still in the works, and it needs a little bit of work, but it's very cool. And Coyotes just does a bunch of stuff, but mostly it's a mission mod with a bunch of features to let you like manage your company, your merc company, in more interesting ways. YAML's in here, yet another mech lab, and the supporting mods that add more stuff. YAML's for customizing your mechs and making them much, much cooler. Yeah, what else? Better mission choice, which does what it says on the tin, gives you more mission variety. More missions will spawn in areas. Pilot overhaul might be a little weird. This did get an update. Pilot overhaul now lets you, why did we run this? Because they just added a lot of the features of this. Oh, yeah, so you can get kind of veterancy in mechs as you pilot them. So your pilot will get better if they run a locust all the time, like my pilots do. They'll get better if they survive. They'll get better at driving a locust. And I really like that feature. It does a few other things as well, like lets you customize your pilot. You don't have to use the commander, right? You can move him out of that slot. So definitely a recommend. Well, let's go ahead and just dive into, let's do a single player. We'll do a new career start, and we'll just grab like a Davian start. Why not? So we can test out. Confirm. Ooh, we could import our data from our, no, it's a new career, it's fine. And then we'll just dive right in past that. There are some really cool mods on the horizon. That Disembark mod, which is the first thing that we're gonna try out, lets you get out of your mech, run around. If your mech is killed, you literally punch out, right? You don't just, if you're playing multiplayer, or actually a single player too, you don't just go into a spectator cam. You literally punch out and become a first person combatant. It's really built with the idea of co-op behind it. Let's let it do its stuff, and I prefer Mech Salvage V2, so if you're ever running YAML, you're probably gonna wanna do that. And let's just go ahead and okay, we'll close that. So they gave us an Enforcer, a Spider, and 2 Locusts. Pretty standard start for them. If we look at the star map, if you've never used some of the dip, that's all the tutorial stuff. What it does is it just makes it so, if we're looking at the better mission choice mod, that you just get more options. You can see who's giving what missions, and just there's more of them out and about. So if we want to go and run over to, say, this, probably do this assassination. What is this, a 1 and 2? Yeah, let's just jump over there. Set course. Got a resource opportunity too. That's a Coyote mission mod feature. So that's a new type of mission. If you go into view transmissions, when you see that, you can grab exploration quest. You can go and run it and find some really cool stuff. If you can survive, they are always way harder than other missions in the area from what I've noticed, right? Like if you're, even if you're in a low ranked area, you'll still find them to be relatively difficult if you're not careful. All right, so going into Battle Mech, we're running YAML. If we go to loadout, YAML lets you do all kinds of cool customization stuff. If you've never run that, you can swap out your engine size, meaning you can go for lighter engines where it means you're gonna move slower, but you're gonna save a lot of tonnage, and you can customize the rest of your mech. There's a ton of new slots in here that you can put in here, like there's structure endo prototype for some reason in this place that we just got to, that we could pick up. Or do I own that? Oh, this is owned. Wait, I own this? Why do I have this? This must be from like when you start with a normal mission. Weird. Anyways, lots of cool stuff though for customization. If you're an old-time vet of Mechwarrior 5, you know this mod. And the supporting mods. The mech equipment just got updated like yesterday or the day before yesterday. The yet another weapon mod, that's in and is working just fine. We've been running that on the weekends. It's pretty sweet. When we dive in too, you're gonna be an audio mod. Keep your ears open for how that sounds. It's called AudioStash, which we're gonna try out. All right, let's us actually go under mod options, because there is going to be something that we need to turn on. Mod options, advanced zoom, make sure that's in. Activate 8x active, whoa. Okay, we'll try it. Oh, it's got the old Mechwarrior 4 sound. Little neat. Mechwarrior, or mod options, it does what it says. You can tweak all of your options in here, make it as difficult or as easy as you want, change some of the mods. Coyotes Missions is in here. If you really hate certain kinds of missions popping up, you can get rid of them. Say you hate beachheads, you can do that. Armor Green is gonna be in the list. Armor Green, it just gives you more colors. So there is a longer list of colors for when you're taking damage, so you know when you're actually in trouble. If you've played a lot of Mechwarrior 5 vanilla and you're like, you might have 99% armor damage, but it'll show like yellow. It's like, okay. So am I really damaged, or did I scratch the paint? It's kind of hard to tell. Pilot Overhaul. There's another mod if you've never seen this one. I'm running through these quick because I want to get us into a mission so we can check out some of the new stuff.
Glad you joined the company, Commander.
It
Let's
does
kick some ass.
less than it used to, because it doesn't need to, because they've added like a lot of the features to this into the base game. But you can still do some fun stuff, like change the name of your pilot. You can change their call sign. In co-op, by the way, only the host can do this. You can go in and play around with this. You can even change their description and their pilot icon. If you're running modded ones, they should show up in here too. But only the host can do this. If you try to do this as a co-op player, sadly, because co-op is so wonky in Mechwarrior 5, in so many ways, it just won't do it. It'll let you type stuff in, it'll let you like flick through stuff, but it won't let you, like we can switch to this guy and we can say this guy's name is Shaq and pilot name is Shaq. Done and done. And we can change his voice if we want to. But we'll just leave that
ready to
there.
see what's out there, Commander.
Prepped and ready, Commander.
And he's ready to go. Very, very cool. The other thing that it does, and I mentioned this earlier, I'm pretty sure, is as you run missions, like let's go to the start map and pick a mission. We are already here, so we can go to contracts, close, and confirm. Salvage shares. We can do an assassination? Garrison duty? Let's do a garrison duty. Don't want to lose in a while. Boom and boom. Continue. And you'll see affinities. This is one of the things that I think is really cool. It takes a little too long, in my opinion, to get good in a mech. But, oh, look at that. There's two of us in there for some reason. There we go. But as you run in mechs, those pilots will get experience in those mechs, and they'll get better and better. I think in the class of mech, but also in the specific model of mech. So, like, Locust 3V, he might get better and better in, but I believe his affinity will just go up for all Locusts as he goes. And then you see, like, right now it's minus 10% basically to everything that he does. And that'll get better and better. All right. Very, very cool. Let's try out... Is there any other mods that you guys would want to know about? I'm trying to think. Better missions you guys know about. The YAML stuff. Jump drive animation removal is installed in the list. Mod options. Oh, stupid artillery. We can go ahead and just ready up. Stupid artillery. This is Coyote, by the way. You can bring in other, we don't actually have any, or extra pilots, but this is where you would choose what pilot, what mech they're gonna drive, and then how they eject. Like, no ejection, they fight to the bitter end. Or more realistically, if you're worried about cash and losing all your kit, if they breached an armor, they'll punch out. You get to keep the mech. This just keeps you from losing the whole mech because the AI is dumb as a box of rocks. We're not gonna use our second lance. It does cost C-bills to do that though, so there's a bit of a balancing effort that Coyote has made in making sure that you can't just raffle stomp every mission, because it's gonna cost you money to go over that tonnage by bringing a second mech.
We have been hired to defend a local
that's
farming
Coyote too.
commune
That's an
from
AA.
incoming hostiles.
Pretty sure.
They will provide whatever help they can muster,
Enforcer.
but don't expect too much from them. Move out and make contact with them at the designated nav point.
Now, I'm not running Vaughn HUD right now or Vaughn Biomes. Vaughn Biomes did get an update. Both of those should work. Actually, Vaughn HUD's gotten an update too. And now Vaughn Commander, which is that top-down kind of RTS perspective mod, I've spotlighted on the channel and was using in the Battletech challenge run. The 3025 challenge series, which I do want to bring back. We're going to import that save, I think. Not running it because I've been having issues with Vaughn Commander just being consistent with them listening to orders and the UI bugging out. Has happened more than once, and I don't know what's going on with it. But on a positive note, if you do want to try it, what used to be only a Patreon feature is now public. You can use the support option. I can't turn it on because I don't have it turned on, but you can go into the RTS mode and you can do stuff like, instead of just calling in airstrikes, you can build a little base, have a scanning beacon, which I couldn't get to work, drop mines, call in, you know, your employer's like light
Looks like
lance.
they made it here just in time, Commander.
All right, so we're defending this.
Mercenaries, thanks for the assistance.
So
Keeping our facilities secure and intact against the
Hey!
onslaught of hostile enemies is your one and only priority. Don't screw it up.
I got out of the mech.
Nothing on scopes at the moment.
How
But
freaking
don't get
cool is
comfortable.
this?
Hostiles
Oh,
have
there's a
been
vehicle there
reported in the
too. That's
area.
perfect. Let's go run into that. So, if your mech dies, or if you just want to, oh, I should power down the mech. I bet it'll make it less likely that it gets shot. Right? A powered down mech is a threat, and it probably wouldn't show up on sensors. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Probably should put it in the cover, but I'll control E or D to get into it. This is not out, by the way. P is shut down. Let's pop back out. He's all shut down now and sad. The Enforcer. Now, this is a work in progress mod. Xanion, I hope I'm saying that right, is the developer. He was in my chat yesterday while we were streaming, giving this a test. Now, there's some really cool features. One, the fact that we can drive around in the mechs, right? There's a parking brake. We have all, like 1, weapon 2 is a laser. Looks like 3 is SRM, so we can't see the weapons other than just looking at what's on it. Like, there's no indicator, there's no ammunition. For the host, they drive pretty great. Like, I really like this. You can sit here and you can fight. If you get killed in co-op, like I said, you punch out, you shoot up into the air. And then if you can fight a vehicle, you can jump into it. Or you can do the crazy thing, and you can fight on foot, which I don't recommend. Oh, there's another vehicle over there. There's a Hellbender, which I think is like a Jeep with a PPCX on the top. Yeah. It is. It's a little dark. I'm sorry, it's so hard to see. Yeah, there it is, the PPCX, and you're gonna have way more speed because you're like this off-road Mad Max vehicle. That's hilarious. Now, this mod actually does more than it says on the tin. It adds new enemy VTOL units, which are actually quite cool and surprisingly kind of match the aesthetic. It allows you to, I believe, if a company likes you enough, if a faction likes you enough who's hiring you, your standing is high enough, you can actually call in a backup mech. It costs, I think, a little bit of C-bills, but you can do it. Here, I'll try it right now. Let me parking brake. And I'm sure I can't do it, but Control G will chuck out like a beacon, and it'll tell me I can. It did it! What? Oh, it must be Davian that we're working for, and they like me enough. So, that cost me 80,000 C-bills. I called in a mech from my employer. So imagine my mech is dead, right? and they're just yeeting a mech through like a drop pod. Oh, that is cool. And we've seen enemies use... You brought me a better mech than I was in. Hell yeah. Of course, you never know what you're gonna get into. I mean, it could have been an Irby. And I say that, powering up. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, imagine you're playing co-op and you get popped, but your buddies are still fighting. And then you can throw a beacon down. Or maybe your mech gets really damaged. You can just get, like, try to hide it, get out of it, call in a new one, or jump into one of those vehicles and really start harassing. Or if you're really ballsy, and we did this streaming, I was fighting an urban mech on foot with my, I'll show you right now, with my laser. You got a little bit like a jump pack. If I hit Q, put a grenade launcher. Yeah. Now, one of the big issues with this mod is that driving around in the ground vehicles like that tank back there it's super laggy and hard to control. And it's because, as I understand it, from what the modder said, basically there's some code that they don't have access to that kind of guesstimates what your mech is going to be doing and smooths out the rough edges on the lag side. And since the host of our game is on, I'm gonna jump back into the tank because I just think it's really cool. You guys have seen mechs before. We've never had tank drivable combat publicly released. There was a mod that had it and customizable, but they've never released it, as I understand it. Maybe they did. I don't think so though. Or it didn't work in no, it didn't work in multiplayer. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. It didn't work in multiplayer. Oh man, we got a PPC on this. Very, very cool. But yeah, so it's really laggy and a little hard to control, though we still managed to use it to great effect. Go ahead and pause here. And it's only ground vehicles, no VTOLs that you can drive. You're not gonna be flying like aerospace assets as badly as I want that, and you don't get to keep the tanks. So, but this is in the works. I'll do a full spotlight of this when it finally comes out with all of its features. I just think it's really, really cool. You'll also probably notice, does this have a machine gun? Because that would be the quickest way to realize it. That was my secondary weapon, and it has some kind of LRM or SRM system. Okay. I am using the audio overhaul from the same mod author. It's the AudioStash, and I really like it. I know CERN, one of our lance mates. Oh, we got LRMs coming in from friendly forces. I must be spotting for them, maybe. There's also no compass for tanks, so it makes it very, very get wrecked. Very difficult for you to figure out like where you are compared to your allies, because you have no map other than that little compass rose. So if you don't keep up with your other mech allies, or if you get lost, it's very hard to figure out where you are just from comms. So you need like that like north-south guidance. I'm a little surprised they haven't actually attacked us. I'm not really sure what's going on here. But yeah, AudioStash is quite cool. I think the sound effects are great. Particularly the machine gun and the AC2 are two of my favorites. They sound so good. All right, so let's go ahead and get back. Allied AA turret detected. Oh, that's neat. I realized we had one on our side. The AI is being super goofy right now and actually attacking us. Weird. All right, let's go ahead and board then. I'm not gonna go hunt them down. They're out there somewhere. We have to go hunt them down, scout them out, which would have been easier to do with my Enforcer and not in a freaking tank. This tank is slow by any means. This thing kind of books it. Oh, how I wish we could just buy tanks, man. Like as part of our mercenary company customization. Coyotes got them, but you have to find them and salvage them, but you can't just buy them. And now we've got the Disembark mod on the way. Thank you again for giving me early access to try it out. But you don't get to keep them, and you can't like have them on standby to call in or just drive off your drop ship with them. It'd be very, very cool. Good. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Mission was abandoned. Bum, bum, bum. But the real purpose of this video was to just show you guys what mods that we're running and the fact that a lot of the mods have been updated and there's new stuff on the way coming out. There's even one that, and I want to know people's opinion on this. Right now, we're doing a challenge run. We've started all the way back at 3025, very beginning of the game, right? No, excuse me, 3015, very beginning of the game. And our challenge is, when we're playing multiplayer with 4 players, that we own and have to maintain our own mechs individually. That means we're splitting the money between the 4 of us and with the company. So 20% goes to each of us, and then of course the company account. Now, one of our guys who runs in the Lance called Clockwork has decided to make a mod to facilitate this. And that means company funds and the players funds. So this little button up here, he's added this. I think this is very, very cool. We're negative 50,000 in the company funds right now because we just made a jump. It auto puts that in there. It still takes a little bit of micromanaging, but it's a weird, quirky way to play. And when you suddenly have to pay for your own bills, you're far more concerned about, we were just joking about this last night, about this. I don't never care about the screen other than the totals. But now that I have to worry about how much I'm paying my pilots every cycle and how much my mechs cost to maintain individually, personally, we're managing our company as contractors. That's why I call it the contractor challenge. Even our gear, we keep track of on a spreadsheet, which is quite fun. And he wants to add that in as well. So he said he's probably not going to release this publicly unless people are really interested in it. So are you guys, is there more players and groups out there who want to run a weird challenge like this where they can keep track of their individual funds per player? Yeah, let Clock know in the comments. Let him know what's going on. I find this very, very cool. It'd be a shame if more people couldn't enjoy it as he keeps developing it. This is like his version 2 of our test version. It's been working great. It's very, very neat. All right, guys. Mechwarrior 5 is still a good time. We're going to be streaming this every Wednesday over on Twitch, and I want to bring back our other campaign with Abby, jumping in on occasion. We're almost to 3025. I'm going to try to port that save over or export that data into the new version and see that everything works okay. We shall see how well it works. If it does, we'll bring that series back for more episodes because, gotta love the Locust. My baby. The Locust, the greatest mech in Battletech. I'll hear nothing else. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.